Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Life with Mike, and of course, as you can see, we're outside again. It's a pretty nice Manitoba day. I mean, considering the time of the year, we can't complain too much. It's probably about maybe 14 degrees, but the wind is starting to pick up, and as you can see, a little bit of white caps on the wave. So I guess we'll have to see how the ultimate 12-foot smoker craft holds up to this. You know, it's a pretty good boat, but I mean, because it's so small, it does get thrown around a little bit easier. So I guess we'll take it out and see how that all works. This camping weekend is going to be a little bit more of an interesting one for us in general. We're going to try doing pizza on the fire. I'm not sure if you guys have ever cooked pizza on the fire before. I have no idea if it's going to work. I don't know if we brought the right stuff. I know we brought the right ingredients, but I guess we'll have to see how that goes. And if you stay tuned, we'll definitely put some videos, what our kind of recipe is, how we make it and stuff like that. Kind of a little cook session on the channel here. Other than that, we've had a really interesting day. We started pretty early in the morning. I'd say maybe just after 7, I think. Just after 7 we were getting up and had everything packed. Got out here around 10, about 10ish. Started packing up unpacking the tent, and that was the Coleman Instadome. I had a pretty good review on it last time, but this is only the second time we've set up, and as we've set up, one of the hubs absolutely shattered on it. So we end up having to pack our stuff up, go back into Selkirk, and pick up a new tent. So we're gonna do a little time-lapse video of setting this one up. I can do a review on this one as well. This one is the Woods Refuge 6. It is a 6-person. It does weigh 24 pounds, so it is quite a bit heavier than my last one. It is a 12-foot by 7-foot footprint with a 5'10" height. It is one of those where the wife really liked the fact that it did have a little bit more of a straight edge instead of such a slanted edge. So we're gonna set this all up, and hopefully it works for the weekend. I mean, hopefully it'll work for at least this year. It is quite a bit more expensive than the other one that we bought. The other one, I think it was 150 bucks from Cabela's. So this one is about 300. I think after tax it was just under 400 bucks. So I guess you're gonna see as much as we do. If something does happen or something, we don't like something, we're definitely gonna make sure we post a video about it. So other than that, we're just kind of getting everything unloaded with the truck. It is 1:12 right now. So the fact that we were up at 7 and it's 1 o'clock and we're only about 40 minutes away from Winnipeg, it's been a really long day. So that's been a little bit stressful having all that stuff work out. But I mean, when you're looking at all the stuff that's going on, all the other little stuff tends to make you a little bit more frustrated, but you can't be frustrated when you're outside. It's impossible. The minute you start setting everything up and you look around, I mean, it's impossible to be in a grumpy mood. So we're gonna get this stuff all set up. I'll give you a walkthrough of the tent, our setup with this tent. So I guess it's gonna be a little interesting for that too, because we have no idea how our setup's gonna turn out. We don't know if our stuff's gonna fit in it. It should, but I guess we'll see from here. So stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to be posting a whole bunch of clips and videos throughout the night. The pizza one's going to be pretty interesting. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a journey, and hopefully we're going to be eating actual pizza instead of soggy bread. But from there on, like I said, stay tuned and let's see how this gets set up. Well, here we are. We have no idea how to do this, but let's see what we got. All right, well, it wasn't too bad. We definitely should have looked at the instructions to start. We actually ended up missing the actual center pieces to put them in, so it took a little bit longer than expected, but I think the next setup should be pretty easy. I really like these setups better than the hubs. There's really nothing that can go wrong with the poles, and even if a pole does go, pretty easy to fix a pole than it does a hub. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour. So it does actually have a full a T zipper that opens up this whole door in general. It does have full screens up on top, which is really nice as well. I know one review that we looked at did say that it didn't have a lot of ventilation, and after looking at it, they're kind of right. When you're looking at it, this whole entire wall, this back part only has that little vent up on top. Same thing with this corner here. We do have a pretty significant window, or I guess door slash window here. And then of course one up on the top for cross ventilation. So it's not terrible, but it is pretty big. I don't know if you can see here. I mean, I'm only 5'5", so this tent works for me really well. What did it say on the height? Was it 6?
5'11".
5'11", so yeah, that makes sense.
5'10".
It is, well, I guess 5'10", whatever. It does make sense. I mean, for us, it's definitely going to be adequate. For other people, I mean, it is going to be a little bit more, a little tighter for them. Now, they do have these little rings in here, and apparently there's supposed to be an inner tent or something as well. So you can have your bed here, and then this is supposed to be like kind of a screened-in porch area. So we're going to set up that center, that little centerpiece here. Hopefully I can get some video of how that works. Same thing, I'm not planning on looking at doing any reading of instructions, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay, so this is a weird tent for me. I totally understand the point that they're getting at, but I think the weird thing for me is that this is a tent within a tent. Now that does really limit your space when you're putting your beds in. I'll kind of show you here. So it does have a full inside floor and everything, so it is kind of individual. This floor could be a little bit tighter, of course. I just didn't really tuck it all the way in there. But having two separate doors and a full unit, that space I would assume is probably maybe 6-7 feet. Yeah, probably about 7 feet by, I don't know, maybe 7 by 6 or 7 by 7. So it's not a very big space, but it is kind of nice the fact that they do have this separated, so you could technically put your bedding and stuff in there, do everything that you know, kind of that's hidden away, close everything off, and then this front spot is literally just a screened-in porch. Now, looking at it, like I said, I very much doubt we're gonna have this screened-in area. These doors are full screen as well, so there's nothing. There's really no need for a separation than anything else. So I think we're gonna take it out. But yeah, it's a very interesting setup. It's kind of a cool idea. I get what they're trying to do, but to me, it's unnecessary. I would have just used this whole shell. I think that's going to be more adequate than not. So, all right, we're gonna take that down and get the inside set up. All right, so here we have the general setup. I mean, it's pretty plain right now because we didn't really know what or how to set it up. But I mean, there's probably about maybe 2.5 feet in between the beds. So other than that, there's a lot of room. From the bed here to the end is about 4.5 feet. So it's a pretty big chunk without that inner tent that was in there. That inner tent wouldn't have worked whatsoever unless you're sleeping on the ground. It's actually pretty breezy in here. I do wish they had a couple windows on the corner. We did put a couple mats that were on the bottom just so that way they don't damage the actual base. But I do have to admit, I do like the center zipper a lot better instead of having to zip up the whole base here. It's kind of a little crooked. I guess the ground is crooked, but it's really nice to be able to have to go in and out just with that one zipper. It does unzip from both sides as well, so they both open up. But I mean, so far it looks pretty good. It looks like it holds up pretty well. Sorry, it's hard to unzip this with one hand here. There we go. So yeah, I mean, other than the lack of pockets, everything else, it looks like it's a pretty solid tent. So we'll kind of keep you guys updated on how this thing holds up compared to the other one. And of course, if you are going to be camping, I mean, we do have a heater here just in case it does get cool, but we usually try not to use that. But in general, always make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector. You know, even with the amount of wind and screens and stuff within here, you might as well be safe. So with that being said, we're going to kind of continue our little fire. We had to do a little bit of a wind barrier up on the corner there just because it was pretty windy and we don't want sparks to go everywhere. So we're going to get the coals going for the fire pit as soon as we can. And I guess I got to figure out how I'm going to put the pizza stone on, kind of not on directly on the fire, but above the coal. So I'm going to have to rig something up for that, and I'll kind of show you along the process of that as well. Welcome to our camping experience. All right, so well, we've been here for a little while now. We got pretty much everything all set up and ready to go. It's still a little bit windy, but it looks like the wind has shifted directions. We have changed our, well, not changed, but changed the fireplace location just to make sure it's a little bit more safer. We do have quite a bit of coals, you know, kind of piled up in there, so it should be good to go. We ended up finding a little metal bracket. It looks like it was for a chair, so we've had that burning in there just to make sure that if there's any like paint or anything on there, it's all been kind of taken off. Probably not the safest way to do it, and realistically, I mean, yeah, that's something we definitely forgot to bring, is kind of a little bit of a rack to put the pizza stone on. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps here. It's probably going to go in and out of the video, I guess, depends on how everything goes, but I'll kind of walk you through our, I guess, fire pizza on, well, on the fire. We'll see how this all works. So I just got to put the camera up somewhere. All right, is that good? Yeah, we can kind of see everything there. There we go. All right, so this one, basically you're gonna need 3/4 cups of warm water, a teaspoon of sugar, 3/4, I guess 3/4 of a tablespoon or 3/4 of a packet of dry yeast, 1 to 2 cups of flour. That's gonna be dependent on when you're mixing, a pinch of salt, and 3 tablespoons of oil. So we've done a lot of this stuff just because, of course, if you're out here, last thing you want to be doing is measuring even more stuff. So you know, it just makes it a lot easier when you have everything all prepared here. So I guess the first step here is dissolve sugar in the water, stir in the yeast, and cover and set in a draft-free place. Obviously not outside here because it's windy as crap right now. Until the mixture is frothy, approximately about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put this all in, and I guess we'll go step to step. Okay, so it looks like we have our yeast mixture ready. Now we're supposed to add the salt and oil. Okay, now basically you're just supposed to start mixing in the flour. Start with 1 cup, add enough for the 2nd cup of flour until the mixture is no longer sticky. So now we're gonna cover and then let it sit for 20 minutes. I'm gonna wash up and then we're gonna actually start cooking the chicken. What did we kind of do the basin with the chicken? Was it just barbecue sauce? So we're gonna do like a barbecue chicken slash pineapple. I think that's it. Just barbecue chicken, pineapple,
and cheese.
And cheese. So it's gonna be a pretty basic chicken. We didn't want to go too crazy because it may just all end up in the fire pit. But I'm gonna wash up. We're gonna start cooking up that chicken and let the dough rise or whatever it does. And then get back to cooking the pizza here. right, well, it's been 20 minutes since we have let the dough rise. Went to go take a look at it, and it's not really risen. Looking at it, we thought it was a little bit off because when the yeast, as we mix it in, it didn't really get really frothy. And of course, as the wife's kind of trying to figure stuff out, I guess we decided to look at this. Not sure if you guys will be able to see it there. So I guess this expired, or best before, not expired, best before, December 16th of 2020. So that's garbage. So we're still gonna make the pizza. We can't not make the pizza. I mean, the chicken is starting to look really, really good. We have all cooked on coal before, but of course it is a little bit different when it's windy and we're not sure how everything's working. So are we gonna do it on the side there, or do we want to do it directly on the pan?
I'd like to cut up the chicken.
Oh yeah, okay.
Chicken breast.
For sure. So she's gonna get the chicken ready, and I am gonna try to maybe salvage our non-risen dough. So now we have our dough. Like I said, we are going to do it really thin. Hopefully it's not going to be just a solid chunk of dough, which most likely is going to be, but we're doing what we can with what we've had here. So hands away. All right, so now what we're going to do is, I mean, the one thing we are going to cheap out on is getting our regular pizza sauce here. We are going to mix a little bit of barbecue sauce in it, so it has a little bit more of a barbecue base. We're definitely not going to need this much in here. And for this, we're just using regular bullseye. Alright, same thing with the cheese. We just got bagged cheese here. I usually like to put just a very small layer on top before we put the actual toppings on. Okay, so this next step is probably where I'm going to get in some trouble and get some bad comments on here. We're going to be putting pineapple on the pizza. I absolutely love pineapple on the pizza. The wife loves pineapple on the pizza. So this is just a thing. I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of mixed comments on here. Feel free to leave a comment on the below if you absolutely love pineapple on pizza or if you hate it. I like to hear either way. But we're doing a pineapple chicken kind of barbecue saucy blend. This is how we're going to do it today. Chili peppers on there. We're just gonna get that kind of built up again, and we'll continue our cooking of our pizza. So far, I mean, it looks delicious. The cooking is gonna be the other thing that's gonna be the biggest dependent. It might, like I said, it might just be a solid chunk of dough, but so far it's turning out pretty well. Pretty easy to do, a little bit of time, but I mean, hey, look at what we have going behind us. Can't complain. So we'll get that fire going up, we'll get some coals in there, and we'll be back to cooking this in a bit. And here we go. Like I said, I've never put this on the fire before. It may just crack and break, and we'll have absolutely nothing to eat today. Actually, we have one piece of chicken left, so we're gonna let it sit on here. I may have to kind of keep an eye on the coals there, but I guess now it's just a waiting game. We'll see how this cooks. All right, so first catastrophe. the thing did break. I mean, I kind of had an idea that was going to happen. So we're going to see if we can get this thing off of here. Hopefully be able to save some of that pizza there. Alright, so, like I said, that did not work. Pizza is definitely not cooked, like, on top at all. I mean, all the chicken and stuff was cooked before. Yes, of course, it was a little bit too hot. I should have not boosted up the coals before doing it. Where is it here? Get you a good look with the sun there. So yeah, she is a little bit crispy underneath. So I think what we're going to do is probably... I'm gonna let the fire down, fire go down some more. I'm gonna get rid of that top, and I'm gonna see if I can cook the top somehow. So, I mean, right now, yeah, that's a fail as we look at it for now. Who knows? Maybe we'll just put piece by piece. Maybe put some, like, I don't know, what's it called, aluminum foil, and do something. It's gonna be interesting, but we're gonna try cutting it up right now. See how it all is. I mean, if anything else, we got some burnt pizza, so that's kind of our supper right now. Sorry it's a little bit loud. I just have the generator running so we can get some hot water for to do some dishes. I was hoping to get the dishes done before this, but like I said, this is what we're gonna be getting. All right, well, I'll let you know how it all tastes, and if there's any other adventures that come up tonight, then I'll definitely make sure I put them in there. All right, so I mean, the top's not the best. Cheese is kind of melted. I mean, everything else is already cooked. The only unfortunate thing is it definitely was too hot. I can do that. So it's gonna be crunchy. I guess we'll see. But I guess we're gonna try it out. I mean, yeah, dough's pretty charred. It doesn't taste horrendous for the fact that the dough didn't rise. So I'm talking with my mouth open. Not talking with my mouth open. Talking with food in my mouth. Yeah, I think if the dough wasn't burnt or the bottom wasn't burnt, it actually wouldn't taste horrendous. We are gonna do this again. I'm definitely gonna try this again. I think we're gonna use a different type pan. I mean, it's really windy, so the coals were doing a really good job. Of course, it got it hot enough, but it got too hot. So I gotta figure out the time variance and what I need to do with it. But I mean, overall, it's actually a pretty good pizza. It's pretty spicy. I mean, I would definitely recommend trying it if you guys have the patience and if you don't mind wasting a little bit of food. We still have a whole bunch of pizza there. Like I said, I'm not overly concerned with a little bit of a burnt crust, but it tastes pretty good. So I guess this is probably going to be it for the supper portion of it. We were going to maybe make a salad and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I guess if I had to rate it, I'd probably say, oh, the wife says 4. I think it's a 6. But then again, I'm not picky, and it's pizza. I will literally eat pizza off the floor. So like I said, it's just a chicken, pineapple, roasted red pepper, some garlic, whatever else. So try it out next time you're camping. I mean, definitely let me know in the comments if you've done it before, or if there's any other ways that you guys try to cook it. Obviously that stone did not last. It absolutely shattered when I tried to move it. So we're gonna try something else maybe on our next camping trip, and until then, hopefully we'll get some more stuff going on here. Hey guys, well, I think we're done for the day. You know, it's been a pretty good weekend. It's still pretty cool. It's kind of windy, but everything's all packed up, and as you can see, we kind of leave it the way we found it, if not better. You know, me and the wife picked up, I think it was about 12 or so garbage bags of garbage all the way through, and that was more or less because, I mean, we can't go fishing, and it's just different when you're going through and you're driving by. The amount of garbage that was left behind is still, I mean, I'm sure every single camping trip I do, every single fishing trip I do, I'm going to be mentioning it, but you know, it's one of those where we did end up being able to meet a couple of really nice guys that are from the Manitoba boat site. you know, they kind of helped out with garbage as well. So that's just really nice to see the community that we have. So, you know, we want to make sure it's clean, we want to protect our environment, and we also want to make sure that it's protected for the young ones coming up. Now, speaking of the young ones coming up, I did a draw before I came out here because I didn't want to bring like all my names and stuff like that in a big hat and this wind blow everything away. So I ended up picking a name here, and I just put it all on my phone here so I don't get it wrong, and hopefully I say the name right. It's GRAYSON GOULD. He is 10 years old, and his mom Tracy ended up giving me his name to enter in for these kids giveaways. You know, I think I have about 10 or 12 kids that, or parents that have kind of recommended their kids to be put into the draw, so I'm going to try getting out of the wind here. You know, it is one of those, I think I'm at like say about 580 bucks that we've collected so far. This package I think is about 210 bucks maybe. And there's quite a bit of new stuff. There is some stuff that's been donated from some really nice fishermen that have picked up some decals. So it's just really nice to be able to see the community get together and be able to help these kids fish. So GRAYSON, you're going to be getting one of the Shakespeare Customize It rods. That's from Cabela's there, and of course a brand new tackle box. It does have a whole bunch of like treble, some little hooks, some fly hooks, some pickle rigs, some weights, of course some bobbers, and then just some ice jigs and stuff like that as well. That's kind of in there. You're gonna get some line and some scissors and some pliers as well. I'm also gonna throw some decals in there. Make sure you get some decals for that as well, because of course that's what started it all. But Tracy, thank you very much for throwing your kid's name in there. This is only the first of many, I really hope. I'm going to be doing this as long as I can until people just stop buying decals. And by then, maybe I'll have another idea that has sprung up. So I have one more kids pack to give away. I might do it in maybe the middle to late next week. I would like to get it out for May long, or before May long. I know you can't do much, there's not much going on. I don't know if people are going to be able to go to cabins and stuff like that, but I want to be able to give the kids something to kind of look forward to in the future as well. So I do have one smaller kids, I think it's only like one of those 3-foot ugly stick rods, and a little pack of, a tackle box full of stuff as well. So that's going to be the next prize as well. So if you're a parent and you have a really younger kid that would like to be the name to be put into the draw, send me a PM. You can contact me through Facebook on Manitoba Boat Site, my YouTube channel at Real Life with Mike. You can always comment below, or if you want to get in contact with me on Instagram at Real Life with Mike as well. Now, it is really nice if you do become a subscriber on my YouTube channel. You just got to make sure your subscriptions are public. Otherwise, I can't check out who's all actually on my list, because I am actually giving away either going to be paying for or refunding you or transferring a fishing license for someone that needs it. It's just kind of a giveaway to give back to the fishing community. I've kind of mentioned it a couple times, so that's going to be given away before the May long weekend as well. So if you want, feel free to subscribe to this channel here. Unfortunately, like I said, you do have to make your subscriptions public, so that way everyone, like, not everyone can see them, I can see them. Because if it's not public, I can't find out who's all subscribed on there. So other than that, like I said, GRAYSON, congratulations. Happy you got the pack. I'm going to make some prior arrangements with your parents and be able to drop that off for you, and wish you the best in the fishing, in your fishing life here. So like I said, I'm going to be drawing another one. This is going to wrap it up for this weekend. I hopefully get this video today. It is Mother's Day, so I got to make sure I call my mom, make sure you call your mom, and make sure you're appreciated of, tell her how much you appreciate her, especially moms like Tracy here. You know, it's nice to be able to see the community get together. Other than that, like I said, beautiful day. Hopefully it gets better. Next week is gonna start to be the opening of the season, so there's gonna be a lot more fishing instead of just camping and bumming around that I've been doing lately. So until then, hopefully we see you on the water, and other than that, keep it real.